Good morning, Ms. Bates.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Good.
This is 210122 SM, State of Michigan versus Antoine Earl Williamson. Parents, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Melanie Bates, standing in for Randall Upshaw, appearing on behalf of Mr. Antoine Williams, who is present by Zoom and has no objection to appearing by Zoom.
Thank you. Would you state your name for me, please, sir?
Antoine Williamson.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for sentencing in this matter. Ms. Bates, have you been able to review the recommendation from the probation department?
Yes, Your Honor, we reviewed it. I know that Mr. Williamson and Mr. Upshaw also went over it yesterday. There are no additions or deletions to the report. Mr. Williamson does feel like the agent kind of sort of changed a couple of little words, but I don't think it will affect the sentence agreement. He's looking for the 1-year probation. And Your Honor,
Go ahead.
I think there was an agreement for this probation to be under the 794A.
That was the agreement from the plea on May the 11th.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Was there anything else, Ms. Bates?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Was there anything that Mr. Williamson wanted to say before sentence was imposed?
Was there anything you wanted to say? I know you and Mr. Upshaw talked yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say, like, if it doesn't matter that most of that, a few lines in that report were lies, then everything else I said was taken completely out of context. But I mean, that's not going to change the sentencing thing. Nothing further I have to say.
I appreciate that, Mr. Williamson. And if you've had the opportunity to discuss this matter with both Ms. Bates and Mr. Upshaw, the court will impose the sentence recommendation from the probation department and will place you on a period of 12 months of probation. You will pay probation costs of $480, fine of $500, cost of $200. There's a crime victims fee of $75, state costs mandated at $50, fund fee of $20, assessment fee of $30. Attend battle risk counseling and follow all recommendations with documentation of probation within 30 days or thereafter as directed by your probation agent. Attend parenting classes and follow all recommendations with documentation of probation, again, within 30 days or as directed by your probation officer. Have no contact with the victim other than what is necessary to facilitate child care, if that is the child in common, was my understanding. Nyla?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Not purchase, possess, consume alcoholic beverages or controlled substances without the court's approval with testing while you're on probation, and make payments as directed on these fines and costs and fees. That shall be the sentence of the court. Anything else, Ms. Bates?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for logging in on time this morning. I appreciate it.
Much appreciated.
Mr. Williamson, I wish you the absolute best. If there's anything the court can do to assist you in completing probation successfully, please don't hesitate to contact your probation officer, okay?
It won't be the person that I had the interview with.
It should be. Was there some issue?
Yeah, there was lies in his statement. He completely twisted all my words around. I would request that I receive a different probation officer.
Were your words twisted or were they the words lifted from the police report?
No, they were the words twisted. Aside from the police report and the actual like reports that we had the less than 10-minute conversation with and all the questions that I asked, he twisted everything around that I said.
Mr. Williamson, what I'll suggest is that you speak to Ms. Bates or Mr. Upshaw. And if there is some issue while you're on probation, they know how to reach back out to the court. The purpose of this is so that you do not reoffend, which the court does not expect. The court expects you to successfully complete probation, but we don't want to do, this building doesn't want to do anything that impacts your ability to be successful, if that makes sense to you.
I understand that.
So I would say, give it a try with the agent you have. And if anything, if Ms. Bates or Mr. Upshaw needs to reach out to the court, they know how to do that.
Okay.
We can do that.
Okay? Have a good day, Mr. Williamson. Take care, Ms. Bates.
All right.
Thank
Marianne.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, well, yes, I'll ask you later.
I feel bad because it's scheduled for 8:30. Oh, the next one's not scheduled to 9:15. I thought she had them every 15 minutes for some reason. Okay.
It looks like yeah, I don't know why. After your 9:15, everything, it's every 15 minutes.
It's fine. Miss Bates has been here before. She wasn't here for the plea, but
Yeah, she looked familiar. I just got an email from Andy, and we do have one from Romulus that will be here. And Dan Vitar is our attorney for the day.
okay. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Hey, Sam, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello. Yeah. You have a pen? 580-707-8882. Okay, good, thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Jadala.
Pardon me?
I said good morning to Mr. Jadala, the other attorney in the room.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning to you from Ed Cherniak.
Good morning, Mr. Cherniak. I see you and I see that your client has just been admitted to the virtual courtroom. Do you need to speak to her before sentencing?
No, I've done that already, thank you.
Thank you. This is 2101740D, Cartier Renee McAuliffe. Appearance, please.
Edward Cherniak, appearing on behalf of the defendant. State your name, Cartier.
Cartier McAuliffe.
Thank you. Mr. Carniak, have you had the opportunity to review the recommendation from probation?
Yes, Your Honor, I've had the opportunity to review them with my client. They appear to be accurate as well as a useful tool to aid the court in imposing sentence. I would ask you to adopt those recommendations.
Is there anything that your client wishes to say before sentence is imposed?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Well, ma'am, inasmuch as you've already reviewed this matter with your attorney, the court will adopt the recommendation from probation. Will indicate for the record that you were originally charged on an offense date of May the 22nd, 2020, arraigned on arraigned on May 20th, 2021. The parties appeared and entered a plea during that arraignment. The charge was reduced from a high BAC to operating while visibly impaired. The recommendation from probation is that you be placed on a period of 12 months probation, that you be assessed fines and costs. The court will impose a fine of $300, cost of $300. There's $75 crime victims fund. There's $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee. There was a restitution request from the city of Romulus for $200 that will be imposed. The oversight fee is $480 for the 12 months of probation. That's a total of $1,425. There's also recommendation that you serve 30 to 60 days on an alcohol monitor at your own expense, that you engage in outpatient treatment beginning within 30 days of today and follow all recommendations and submit documentation confirming your participation to the probation department, that you not purchase, possess, consume alcoholic beverages or controlled substance without the court's approval with random testing as directed by probation, that you make payments towards these costs and fines that have just been imposed. Anything further, Mr. Cherniak?
I just wonder, are you gonna pay it all today or are you gonna pay $1,000?
I could pay it all today.
It'll all be paid today, Your Honor.
The file won't be downstairs for probably another hour or so. So if she is going to make payment, I would suggest you wait towards the end of the day or maybe even tomorrow will be better.
Okay, I have a question. If I expect her to do quite well, and if she's doing as well as I expect, would you consider reviewing the file after 6 months?
Absolutely.
Okay, very good. That gives us all a carrot on the end of the stick. Are you in the new building?
We are.
I haven't been in it yet. I haven't been in a courtroom in 16 months, and I'm a court
Oh,
lawyer.
wow.
Anyway,
We've been over here since the first week of May.
well, I try to get hold of Al Hidman, but he doesn't call me back. He's a big shot now, so that's, you know how that. Thank you very much, Judge. Have a great day. Call me.
You're so welcome.
Cartier.
Have a good day,
Call me.
ma'am. And
Will
best
do.
wishes.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Stay well.
Mary Ann, had you seen Timothy Brown and he thereafter disappeared?
Timothy, he has never checked in yet. He didn't check in yet.
Oh,
And-
okay.
and
I
Your
see
Honor,
the
I got a-
message from Mr. Jadala.
Yeah, I got a quick question on Timothy Brown. I called yesterday the probation department because I never received a pre-sentence report. They told me they would email me one. I was not emailed one. And I also noticed that it potentially could be a show cause after talking with Teresa. So I don't know if there is a pre-sentence report or if it's a show cause. I don't know what today was scheduled for, actually.
For Timothy Brown, it is in fact a show cause because Mr. Brown never completed the paperwork.
To complete his PSI?
He did not.
Okay.
And it looks like there was email to him. He didn't complete the first step. So the paperwork that was needed to even schedule the interview for the PSI.
Okay. Well, Judge, all I can say is I will keep trying to contact him. I did call, leave a voicemail yesterday. I'll keep trying to contact him and keep trying to see if I can get him on Zoom this morning.
Thank you. Well, we have things scheduled through to 10:45, so if you can get him on before we're done this morning, it's just about getting the paperwork completed and back to probation.
Understood.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Good morning, sir. I'm wonderful. How are you? I do, just two. Anything else going on this morning?
No, quiet. We got 3 cases in Judge Green's courtroom, but they're all Zoom. No, I think they may be live. One's a Zoom. Guys in Kinross prison.
They're not going to transport.
No, no, yeah. But if he demands exam, they'll have to, right? There's
Yeah.
some high-profile felonies,
Really?
all CSCs. And it was the Detroit sex crimes unit that got me.
The problem is with transportation. That might cause the exam not to be scheduled for quite some time.
That's a long way.
Yeah,
Kinross.
yeah. Well, this is it for us today.
That's it.
Sentencings and show causes.
Oh. Nobody's ready.
Oh, we've done those two. The rest of them are, next one's not till 9:30.
Oh.
They're spaced out a little bit. And an arraignment, we're waiting for an arraignment to come upstairs, so.
These were both sentencings.
Yes.
So they go to,
Virginia.
okay,
Saw some people walking towards the barn this morning. I didn't realize they were still going on over there. Or is it ongoing?
no, it's ongoing. See, we're gonna move the files from this side of the wall to this side of the wall.
It sounds like my desk paper goes from here to here. And then back when that pile gets
Right,
dusty and.
exactly, that's what they're doing over there. I guess it's called job security. All right. I'll check in on you later.
Thank you. Mr. Brown, Mr. Jadala was here until just a few moments ago. So if you sit tight, we will, when he comes back on, I'll call your case, okay? Oh, I'm talking to myself, okay. Mr. Brown? You're muted, sir, but it's okay. I was saying that Mr. Jadala was on until just a few moments ago. When he comes back, I will call the case. Did she say how soon?
No, Oakley just gave it to me. He was playing mailman for her. I'll call her and ask her.
No, it's okay. I'm here. When I see Mr. Bertar pop on, I'll figure. Thank you, ma'am. That door needs some WD-40 on it.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Bertar. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Judge. How are you?
I am wonderful. I have not seen the jail come on, not the jail, Romulus PD come on yet.
Yeah, I just talked to them a couple of minutes ago. They said they're going to have her on shortly. I'll be here waiting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
If you would be so kind, if you could let Mr. Jadala know that we're here with Mr. Brown. I don't have
Yes.
a contact for him, but if you would, thank you. See, Marianne, I'm telling you.
It all works out.
I was gonna say the spirit of cooperation. So what happens is you file an appearance in the case, they add your P number to the case.
Right, and it
Stay
doesn't,
or
yeah, it doesn't remove it.
they send out the updated information electronically, so I stay forever tied to a case that I cannot do anything in. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I am wonderful. How have you been?
Good, good, good.
Mr. Bertar is here and ready to speak with Ms. Kaufman.
All right. Are you setting up the breakout?
She's sending one right now.
There we are.
Marianne, I laugh at what I presume the text communication to be between them all. I'm laughing at Mr. Jadala.
Don't laugh, Judge.
Listen, I appreciate the hustle.
I appreciate you appreciating it, Judge.
I've done more than one hearing from the car, and that was pre-COVID, pre-Zoom.
I'm leaving Howell and just trying to get out of Livingston County, Oakland County, and I'm finally home in Wayne County.
Whenever you're ready, I mean, I can wait until you get pulled over somewhere, or how far are you from your destination?
I'm about 10 minutes, Judge, and I believe it's going to be a summary matter. We're just going to let Mr. Brown know that he needs to comply with the paperwork so we can get him sentenced.
This is 2102650D, City of Romulus versus Timothy Squire Brown.
And respectfully, Your Honor,
Here's his-
Sam Richardala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Brown.
Would you state your name for me, please, Mr. Brown?
Timothy Squire Brown.
Thank you. Mr. Brown, you were here back on June 3rd, 2021 and entered a plea of operating while visibly impaired. The last thing that one of the last things I would have said to you was that your matter was being referred to probation for sentencing, received your email address and your phone number, and indicated to you that probation will be in touch with you. The court has received notification from probation that you have not submitted the paperwork that they were requesting from you and had not conducted your interview. I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
I have. I filled out 2 times. I filled out the preliminary hearing, the 150 questionnaire, and I sent it off.
When did you do that? Do you recall?
Well, this said I only have 3 days to fill it out, so I had to fill it out either the first or the second day.
Okay.
To notify probation, but couldn't get in contact with her. Every time I called her, she would not answer. I called the court. They keep sending me off to her extension, and it won't even pick up on it.
Mr. Brown, did you receive an email from her back on June 24th indicating that she was submitting the motion in order for show cause to get the missing paperwork back from you? Does that sound familiar?
I remember seeing the preliminary hearing, and I had to fill out the questionnaire. I did not see the other on the 24th. And I kept looking too. But I filled
Is your email address Tim, aka Cash @yahoo.com?
Yes, ma'am.
And your phone number is 734-301-8761?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Brown, the indication that I've received from probation is that they haven't gotten the paperwork back from you. So what I want to do is make a note in the file that you can get that paperwork in and schedule your interview within the next week. Is that enough time for you to be in contact with probation? Okay.
They could send it
So
off
now
today.
that we can, I appreciate that. Now that we've confirmed your information, if you can get that, I understand. And technology, sometimes we have the email goblins that eat up, technology is what it is, as long as you're making an effort.
I even had a court date. They sent me a bogus court date last week, said I had to appear on the 6th.
A bogus court date? Was it this case or maybe it was another case?
No, I don't have no other cases. It said something about appearing in court on the 6th. But I know what a preliminary hearing is. I know what that is.
Okay. Well, Mr. Brown, like I said, we've now confirmed your contact information. You indicated that you have the paperwork and you can resend it. I'll make a note in the file that that is what's going to happen. And if you can get that done within the next 7 days, I'll consider it satisfied. We can get you on track to getting your PSI done and getting your sentencing done. That's the main issue, the paperwork and the interview, because the sentencing
Yes,
is
ma'am.
now out, remains outstanding.
Okay.
That's all. It's just a matter of compliance.
Now, what do? I put the court case number on there?
I'm looking at her email to you so I can figure it out.
Because I also need something else. I need to get it transferred to Detroit,
You need to get what transferred to Detroit?
my probation, because they took my car and I don't have no way of transporting all the way out there to Romulus. For
Why do you have to
probation.
come out to Romulus?
Sir, we can discuss
Well,
that
I'm-
at sentencing. That's something we'll discuss at sentencing.
I'm sorry,
once
Mr.
you-
Jadal.
I'm sorry. And Mr. Brown, I'm sorry. That's something that we'll discuss at sentencing, your situation
No
now.
problem.
But yeah, the first thing we have to do is make sure you get interviewed, and then we could let the judge know exactly what needs to happen and how your current situation is.
No problem.
Oh, Mr. Brown, back to what I originally said, is just make sure your paperwork submitted within the next 7 days. Your information's been confirmed. Mr. Jadala is here and he can follow up with you as needed, okay?
No problem. I will send it off.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Brown.
Mr. Brown. Have a good day,
Have a-
sir.
Have a great day. Now, what should I do? Should I call the court for the next court date?
We'll be in
She will
contact
mail
and
it
they'll
to
mail
you.
it or email to you.
All right. Have a great day, y'all.
You too, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Mr. Jadala.
Absolutely, Your Honor. May you and your staff have a wonderful day.
You too. See, Marianne, I get distracted by shiny stuff, and the next thing you know, I'm having this whole side conversation. Good morning, Ms. Holbrook.
Morning.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Mr. Jadala, was that enough time with Ms. Kaufman?
Do you mean Mr. Bitar, Judge?
What did I call you?
Mr. Jadella?
He was just on. My apologies, Mr.
No
Batar.
worries. Yes, I had plenty of time, Judge. We're ready on it.
Thank you. This is 2-1, Mr. Batar, you just had me all discombobulated. This is 172399 FY, State of Michigan versus Veronica Lee Kaufman.
Good
Appearance-
morning, Your Honor. Daniel Bitar on behalf of Ms. Kaufman. I've had a chance to speak with her, go over the charge. We'll wait before I'm reading. Stand mute, please.
Thank you. Court will note that in the file, ask for bond in this matter, Mr. Batar.
Judge, we're asking you to consider a personal bond. This was an out of custody warrant. This is an incident back in 2016. She was arrested on a traffic stop, released. She did not know that she was being charged with this offense.
Oh,
The reason she is in custody today is she owns her own massage company, and she had a dispute with one of her workers, and that worker was being fired and the worker wouldn't leave. So she called the police. Police arrived on the scene, and they found out she had these warrants. So they took her into custody.
thank you, sir. Bond will be set at 5,000 personal. Ms. Kaufman, you are not to possess controlled substances during the pendency of this matter. Your next court date will be your PCC, probable cause conference. That will be on July the 21st, 2021 at 9:15 a.m. And that will be with Judge Oakley. There was a petition for court-appointed attorney on the front of the file. The court has signed that as well, ma'am, and you'll be assigned counsel going forward. There were also 2 misdemeanor matters. One was 161308, City of Romulus versus Veronica Lee Kaufman, where Ms. Kaufman was sentenced back in August of 2016. She had a payment plan, did not pay it. She owes the court $708 in that matter. And Ms. Kaufman, upon your release, if you could make contact with the court and resume your payment plan, get this matter moving towards a resolution. And the last matter is 20RP07350OT, again, City of Romulus versus Veronica Lee Kaufman. This is a driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied misdemeanor from December 3rd of 2020. Ms. Kaufman has never been arraigned in this matter, Mr. Buttar.
Run over the charge with her, Your Honor. We'll waive a formal reading. Stand mute, please.
Thank you. So for this driving while license suspended, waive formal reading, stand mute. Bond in this matter will be $3,000 personal. The next court date is the pretrial, and that will be on September the 27th, 2021 at 8:40 a.m. And that will be with Al Hemmond. Anything else this morning, Mr. Buttar?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions, Ms. Kaufman?
No.
Have a great day, ma'am. Thank you, Lieutenant Jackson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. If you need me, I'm sure they'll let me know, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mary Ann, did we lose Mr. Jadala?
Yes, he's no longer here.
He was. This is 2101950D, City of Romulus versus Caitlin Marie Hallbrook. Ma'am, would you state your name for me, please?
Caitlin Holbrook.
Ms. Hallbrook, today is the day and time set for your sentencing. In this case, you were originally charged back on November 24, 2020 of operating with a blood alcohol content of 0.17 or more. You appeared in this case on June 3rd, 2021. You were arraigned and entered a plea to operating while intoxicated. You thereafter submitted to an interview with the probation department, and there is a recommendation for your sentencing in this matter. Have you had the opportunity to review the information from the probation department?
Yes.
Do you have any additions, corrections, or deletions before the court imposes a sentence in this matter?
No.
The recommendation from probation indicates that you are before the court on your first adult offense. They've received your responses to the needs assessment and indicate that they suggest outpatient treatment, that you accepted responsibility and claims abstinence since the day of your arrest. Although you deny having a problem with alcohol, your blood alcohol of 0.365 gave the probation agent some concern, and the court has some concern as well. further indicates that you deny the need for treatment and states this offense was an isolated incident. There's the recommendation from Agent Stephen Hicks that you not be placed on probation, but that the court impose fines, costs, state costs, victim fund fee, and restitution to the city of Romulus and place you on alcohol monitor for 30 to 60 days. And I did, Ms. Holbrook, have the opportunity to read the police report and indicate and review that you did in fact have a PBT of 0.309 and then the blood test showed 0.365. And that you actually blacked out during the course of the incident that brought you before the court. But because Mr. Hicks does not recommend probation, did not recommend that you be ordered any treatment, the court will simply adopt the recommendation from Mr. Hicks. We'll assess a fine of $500, cost of $300. There's $75 crime victims fee. There's the $200 restitution to the city of Romulus. There's $50 mandatory state costs, $20 fund fee for a total of $1,145. And as recommended by probation, 60 days of alcohol monitoring. Do you have any questions, Ms. Holbrook?
No, I do not.
Thank you, ma'am. I wish you the absolute best of luck in this matter, okay?
Thank you.
Have a good day, ma'am.
You too.
This is 21BL0090OD. City of Belleville versus Owen Alexander Moynihan. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Would you state your name for me, please?
Owen Alexander Monacan.
Mr. Monacan, when you were here previously, this matter is before the court for sentencing. There was an offense date of February 18, 2021, at which time you were charged with operating while intoxicated. You appeared before this court on April 15, 2021, and accepted a plea to the reduced charge of operating while visibly impaired. There was an error that I committed by imposing fines and costs with you without first sending you to probation, which I believe caused a little confusion in this matter. But you thankfully thereafter submitted to the interview with the probation department. Your pre-sentence investigation was completed and recommendation was received from the probation officer. Have you had the opportunity to review the recommendation from the probation department?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions in this matter?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Do you have any additions, corrections, or deletions you'd like to make to the report?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Are you ready to have sentence imposed?
Yes.
The court will adopt the recommendation from the probation department. That recommendation indicates that you are before the court on your first adult offense, that you submitted the completed assessment as requested, that that the assessment suggests outpatient treatment might be helpful, but in as much as you deny having a problem, it's not going to be ordered at this time. You further indicated that what occurred on February 18, 2021 was an isolated incident. For that reason, Mr. Hicks suggested that you not be placed on probation. In as much as the court is going to adopt his recommendation, there will be fines imposed of $300, cost of $300, $75 crime victims fee, $50 mandatory stay cost, fund fee of $20, and the restitution fee of $150. That's a total of $895. That is a little bit more than what we discussed back in April, but it includes the restitution to the city of Belleville. That's a total of $895.
That's all right with me, Your Honor.
Are you prepared to start making payments or to pay that amount in full?
At the moment, no, I'm really broke right now. Next week on Friday is my payday. I can make a payment then.
I'll send your file back downstairs, and what I would ask is that you, when you're ready to start making payments, hopefully you can start within the next 30 days, you contact the court and establish a payment plan so this matter can be successfully resolved and closed out, okay?
All right, sounds good, Your Honor.
Anything else, sir?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Yep, you as well.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Dan.
Morning, Marianne. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Good, good. Hey, they're not here yet, so as soon as they are, I'll put you in a breakout room.
Okay, thank you.
How's your family? Everyone doing okay?
Everyone's doing fine. We went out of town last week for vacation, came back, and now I'm back in the grind.
Man, doesn't it go fast to that vacation?
Yeah, and I never get a chance to relax. I have clients, people calling me all the time. I just wish I could have like 2 or 3 days without any contact with any courts or defendants.
Yeah, just totally unplugged. Right.
Yep.
Hold on a second, okay?
Yep.
Good morning, Mr. Zelenik.
Sorry, Judge, I am inefficient sometimes with modern technology. Am I mistaken? I cannot seem to get a hold of my client. It looks like I have a sentence with you today and I can't seem to find him, and he's always here, ready to Zoom. He's a professional, and we spoke last week. So please tell me I'm not here on the wrong date.
You are here on the absolute right date. You are actually, case was scheduled at 10 o'clock. If you can get Mr. Pastor on, I'm ready.
And I've been ringing him, Your Honor, and I spoke with him. I went out of town Friday for a couple of days. And I got in last night. I spoke to him when I was out of town. We were all set to be here. And he usually comes to my office. And of course, I'm not going to elocute, so I will, I'll mute myself and try to reach him again. I've texted him. I've called him. I'm going to call his office now, if that's right with you. And I'll just mute myself. But I don't want to tie you up. I have no idea how this happened. He's been there for everything before. So, all right. Your
It's
Honor,
fine.
nice to see
Whenever
you.
you're able to get him, we'll keep an eye out for him in the waiting room.
I'll call you right back, Judge. Thank you. I'll mute myself. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Batar. Thank you for getting Mr. Jadala back on.
You're welcome, Judge. I called Van Buren, Judge, but I don't see them yet.
No, I was just gonna say that. Don't see them. And I put the file down somewhere else. Okay. Mhm. So Marianne, we go to the farmer's market last night and there is a 59 Ford hardtop convertible.
That your husband.
And as soon as
Ruling over.
as soon as he saw it, he beelined for it. And he starts talking to the owner or no, it's not the owner, it's the guy who was there with the car. He said that the students at Ann Arbor High School actually maintained the vehicle. So they started that whole conversation, which I thought was interesting.
Huh. Well, that's kind of cool that they have the kids doing that.
They had some nice cars out there last night. They had a couple of Teslas, which probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them. It's a nice crowd. They had a DJ out there, and it's every Monday, like right after work. It goes until I think 7:30-ish.
Is it like right in the middle of town, like next to the Bayou?
Yep, it starts right there at the Bayou and the Historical Museum, and it went down the street to just on the far side of Crafted.
I should do that next Monday with my mom. She'd probably see some people that she knows.
Oh, I'm sure she would. And the vendors were nice. They candles, produce, tastefully simple.
Oh yeah.
What else? I mean, it was a baker. They had so it was probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 vendors-ish.
Well, that's nice.
Just nice to see people out too. And the weather was decent.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I will stay muted, but I wanted to let you know that he is Zooming in right now. He's not at my office. He's doing it from his office.
Thank you, sir.
I apologize, Judge, but I told him that I only had 5 minutes and that he was late. So.
No apologies necessary. As soon
No,
as
I
he
know, but
gets here,
Judge,
we're ready.
I believe in that old clock thing. If they tell you it's 9 o'clock, you're there 8:45. So I'll be ready in a moment, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. No, Mr. Zelenak, what it suggests to the court is that it's not being taken seriously or it's not important, which is even more troublesome.
Well, I was enjoying the rest of the conversation, Judge, but I trust he's going to be there. He said 10 minutes and I said it had to be less than 5. So as soon as he's there, I promise no elocution. I'm not going to waste your time, Your Honor.
It's never a waste of time.
Well, I know. I understand that someone saw the new building, so I'm just waiting for the grand opening. They said it's fabulous, that it's a lovely courthouse.
You can come whenever you want.
Really?
We're open.
Good, then I will stop by. I miss seeing all of your staff in person, Your Honor.
They did a great job. The new building is nice.
Well, it's been long overdue. We've been working in Lincoln Park for 30 years to get a new building. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I mean, you're fortunate you have some forward-thinking people out in your area, Judge.
Well, I drove by that building probably 2 weeks ago, and I just remember the mornings of trying to find some place to park and parking down the street, and then you get in that front hallway and it's congested, and then you're standing between the clerk's counters and there's just so many people. You're trying to find a room to have a private conversation or just a corner of the hallway, and
You're right. And, you know, it's so tight inside. The CDC set it up as a petri dish for new diseases. That's how tight it is in the hallway. But they did figure it out. You know, the air conditioning works in the winter and the heat works in the summer. And there's never a water shortage. So, you know, we've solved all those problems there.
well, I guess the question would be, is there any expansion possibility or is a whole new building required?
I think that building, Your Honor, is in such bad shape that it's got to come down. I mean, it was a misguided effort when it was constructed back in 1990. It should have, that was the time when it should have actually been moved to another parcel. It isn't large enough. And now with 3 jurisdictions there, it's not a big enough building to handle everything. It's, I don't relish the process the judges go through there or the city attorneys. It's very hard. The people who work for me there complain because there's nowhere to talk to any lawyer in private or any defendant or anything. It's just everybody's on everybody's back over there. And the clerks, you remember how tight it was in your old building. It's like a fraction of that for 3 communities. And, you know, we're talking a large jurisdiction. Lincoln Park's 40,000 people, and you're talking maybe 60,000 for the thing with that small facility. It just doesn't work. They can't process tickets. They can't process anything. And we didn't make that up. The difference is I've learned, because I've represented Lincoln Park for over 40 years, that the politicians have to be in touch with what's needed. The court is not an arm of the community, but it's part of the community, and they have to provide proper facilities.
And that's the issue. Most people don't use the facility, so they don't understand how tight it is. And I appreciate you for distracting me while we were waiting for Mr. Pastor to sign on.
Hello.
There he is.
Good morning. This is
Good morning. How are you doing?
210196, not 210196 OD, City of Romulus versus Norbert Pastor. Appearance,
Good
please.
morning. Good morning, Your Honor. Edward Zelenak, P27611, attorney for the defendant who's present, agrees to proceed via Zoom. Mr. Pastor, give your name to the judge.
That's Norbert Pastor.
And you can
Thank
just
you,
sit where you
sir.
are. The judge can hear you. Your Honor, today's the date for sentence. We have reviewed the report. We offer no additions, no corrections, no deletions, and we'd ask the court to adopt the report as submitted.
Thank you, Mr. Zelenak. The court did have the opportunity to review the recommendation from the probation department agent, Mr. Stephen Hicks, and also had the opportunity to review the police report, Mr. Pastor's driving record, and his criminal history. And the court does have some concern about Mr. Pastor's refusal to submit to PBT and refusal to submit to the blood draw, but that's another concern for another day. The court will actually adopt the recommendation put forth by Mr. Hicks, wherein he indicates that this is Mr. Pastor's first drinking and driving offense, that he completed the needs assessment as directed, accepts responsibility and claims abstinence from alcohol since the day of the arrest, denies having an alcohol problem, and denies any need for treatment, indicating that this incident was an isolated incident. The offense date being October 12th, 2020. He was arraigned on June 3rd, 2021, entered a plea wherein his sole count of operating while intoxicated was reduced to operating while visibly impaired. The recommendation from probation was that Mr. Pastor not be placed on probation, that he be assessed fines, costs, and restitution. The court, again, is adopting that recommendation, is assessing a fine of $300, cost of $300, crime victims fee of $75, mandatory state cost of $50, fund fee of $20, and restitution of $200 due to the city of Romulus. That's a total of $945. Mr. Zelenak, will your client be able to pay that within 30 days or will he need more time?
Your Honor, he's going to have to pay it today. Mr. Pastor, will you pay it today?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I'll make an indication. I'll say a week, only because the file needs to go downstairs and be processed and might not be ready for him to make a payment immediately, but it'll be $945 again within the next 7 days.
And Your
Anything
Honor,
else, Mr. Zelenak?
Your Honor, pay that online or he can drop a check off at the courthouse. What do you prefer, Your Honor?
He can do either one, mail it, play it online, or bring it here.
I'll give him instructions, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a
All right.
wonderful day and good luck to you, Mr. Pastor.
Thank you so
Your
much,
Honor.
man. Have a good day.
Good morning, Mr. Williams.
Good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty well.
This is 210178 OT, City of Romulus versus Marcus David Williams. Could you state your full name for me, please, sir?
Oh, me? My name's Eric Michael Williams.
Oh, that would be helpful. Thank you. Mary Ann? Let's try it again.
Okay, I was confused.
That's me. Thank you, sir. 210205 OD. That's a little bit better. That is City of Romulus versus Eric Michael Williams.
Correct.
Thank you. Have you spoken to your attorney this morning, sir?
No, I haven't.
Okay, as soon as Mr. George comes, I'll recall the case and we'll proceed with the sentencing, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Mary Ann, all I saw was Williams and just grabbed the file.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
No, I'm just talking to myself.
I heard your name. I heard you saying that. I was like, and I was getting some water. I was like, oh, I couldn't get over here fast enough.
No, it just, Mr. Williams comes on, I see his name, and I just grab a Williams file. I thought I had him in a decent order. But I guess we're still waiting for Van Buren. Maybe I have to ask Andy to give them a holler. Maybe they're in the wrong room.
Yep, I'll give her a call.
Thank you so very much.
She's gonna call them, Judge.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So did you end up buying any vegetables?
No, I didn't. Even though they had some super cute cabbage, they were still small. They were maybe the size of a grapefruit.
Oh, cabbage?
Yes.
Huh.
So maybe next Monday we'll see. We'll see what the produce looks like. They had good looking tomatoes, some kale, Chinese cabbage. So I mean, they had a good variety of things. I wasn't quite ready.
You weren't feeling it yet.
Well, I don't do the cooking, so I am reluctant. I'm reluctant to fill a bag full of vegetables.
Because he's gonna say you can cook it.
Well, he just went to the grocery store the day before and had fresh produce at the house because we had completely forgotten about it. And then I saw a post from Jessica Jones, the realtor.
Oh yeah.
We need to get downtown for a second. Yeah. They were set up down that little street that leads towards the library too. So as we're walking, I forgot I had a book I need to bring back. So next Monday I'll be able to take the book back, maybe get some produce, maybe pick up a few new books.
Don't you just love that about a small town? I mean, just everything's there. You can just like that. That's a beautiful library too, but everything is right there.
Well, was it last week? No, it was probably 2 weekends ago. There was some kid with or two kids actually had a lemonade stand. So I go to the lemonade stand over in Romulus. I leave Romulus. I go over to the library to drop off a book, pick up a book, and go across the parking lot to Craft It and talk to the owner, who's always super nice, and buy a few things and get a coffee. And good morning, Van Buren.
Good morning.
Mr. Sanderford has elected to speak with MIDC. Mr. Batar is here. You'll see an invitation to join them in the breakout room. You all have a nice farmer's market too, Marianne.
Oh yeah, it's phenomenal.
Do you attend regularly?
Not regularly, but I do go. If I get up early, because you know how it is. The later you wait, if you're there at 9 o'clock, forget it. It's so crazy. You've been there, so you know you can hardly
Yes.
move around. You can't maneuver around the people.
Like I said, it was just nice to be out to see some people. To hear some good music. There was a pretty steady crowd going in and out of Egan's and Crafted.
Wait, did you say Egan's and Crafted? What's Crafted?
Crafted is right across well, not right across the street. It's like across the street, a little bit south. It is a local, I'm trying to think of how to explain it. It's a store and it has some of the nicest stuff. You can get everything in there from soap to earrings to lotion, clothes, like t-shirts, some sundresses, that kind of thing. And then they have a coffee shop in the back.
No way. Is that sort of like by the parking lot of the library, like looking towards
Yes.
Main Street? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I've seen the coffee shop in the back when I parked at the library. I'll have to try that.
Coffee shop, they have baked goods in there and food like salads and sandwiches. And they used to be somewhere else. They opened the coffee shop part last summer, maybe. So in the heat of the pandemic, they were able to get everything done they needed to get done. And opening day, the news was out there. There were a lot of people out there supporting the family. Super nice family. Yeah. I bought some super cute earrings from there when I went after the lemonade stand, and a pin. I wanted to change the pin out that I'm wearing, and the owner was there, and so she and I were just chit chatting. Which you said, small town life. I'm able to talk to the owner. We're not rushed. There were people in the store, but there weren't a lot of people.
Yeah.
His audio is not connected. We need a sign that says connect your audio. Mr. Lewis? Thank you, sir. This is 210203OD, City of Romulus versus Gary Allen Lewis. Could you state your name for me, please, sir?
Hello?
Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
could you turn your video back on, please?
My video?
Yep, there you are.
This is
Could you state your name for me, sir?
Gary Lewis, ma'am.
Sir, today is the day and time set for sentencing in this matter. Have you had a chance to
Correct.
review the report from the probation department?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there anything that you wanted to say before sentence is imposed in this matter?
I just apologize, court, for taking up your time for this. Sorry.
Mr. Lewis, today's sentencing is based on an offense that occurred on July 24th, 2020. You were arraigned in this matter on June 3rd, 2021, at which time the original count of operating with a blood alcohol content of 0.17 or more was reduced to operating while visibly impaired. You entered that plea after discussing the matter with the court-appointed attorney in this matter. It was then forwarded to the probation department for interview. You did interview with Mr. Stephen Hicks, and he submitted a recommendation to the court indicating that you were before the court on your second drinking and driving offense since 2002, that your written responses to the needs assessment suggested outpatient treatment, that you accepted responsibility and claimed abstinence since August of 2020, that although you denied the need for treatment, there were some concerns because of your previous drinking and driving offense and your 0.267 BAC on the date of this offense last July. Based on the assessment and the interview, the recommendation from the probation department is that you be placed on 12 months of probation, that you pay fines and costs. The fine in this matter will be $300. Cost will be $300. State costs $75. I'm sorry, victim fund fee $75, mandatory state cost of $50, restitution to the city of Romulus of $200, $20 fund fee. Complete 48 hours of community service with documentation to probation. Engage in substance abuse treatment beginning within 30 days of today's date and submitting all documentation to probation as directed, and respond to any recommendations you receive from probation. That you not purchase, possess, consume alcoholic beverages or controlled substances without the court's approval and with testing as directed by probation. And that you make payments on these fines and costs that have been imposed. The only outstanding issue is restitution due to the victim in this case. Although the court did receive a letter from the victim in this case with a unpaid medical bill and a bill from the city of Romulus, there might be something else outstanding. So it's possible that we are back here in approximately 30 days. There was a request made to the victim to submit more explicit documentation. Other than that, that shall be the sentence of the court. Do you have any questions, Mr. Lewis? Mr. Lewis,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have any questions?
No.
Thank you, sir. We're all set. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Bertar, was that sufficient time with Mr. Sanderford? Oh,
Judge, could I have about 5 minutes until we do mine? I'm on with another court right now.
absolutely. Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. Mr. Williams, we're about 20 minutes past your scheduled time. You might want to give your attorney a call if you haven't already.
Okay. I will come back
Thank you,
to this.
sir.
They keep saying that's my best friend. I haven't spoken to him in over a year and a half. This is preposterous.
Any luck, Mr. Williams?
Yes, I got a hold of him. He's on his way now.
Thank you
What
so
happened?
much.
I was never sent like an email with the information for my court date. I just happened to read my what was it, the pretrial analysis. I read that, and on there I saw that my court date was with you on July 13th. So I found the link on your guys' website and came that way. So I think maybe they weren't notified.
Well, Mr. Williams, thank you for being thorough and reading what was sent to you and knowing to be here today.
Yes, of course.
Mr. Batar.
Sorry about that, Judge. I'm ready now.
No worries, sir. This is 210577 SM, State of Michigan versus Darius Van Hilton Sanderford. Appearances, please.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Sanderford, Your Honor. I've had a chance to go over the charge with him. We will waive a formal reading. Stand mute, please.
Mr. Sanderford, would you state your name for me, please, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Darius Sanderford. Well, Darius Van Hilton Sanderford. First name Darius. Van Hilton BAN-HILTON Sanderford SANDERFORD.
I appreciate that. Again, today is the day and time set for the arraignment in this matter. Mr. Bitar has indicated that you will be standing mute to the charges currently pending. Court will indicate that in the file. There is a recommendation from law enforcement that they do not oppose personal bond and ask only that Mr. Sanderford have no contact with the complaining victim in this case, that being Mrs. Adriana Sanderford. Mr. Bitar, what say you as to bond in this matter?
Thank you, Judge. I've explained to him that he cannot have any contact with her during the pendency of this case. He will not, Your Honor, he will not return back to the marital address on Parkwood. He can go stay with his mom while the case is pending. He's employed full-time with FedEx. He's worked there for almost 2 years now, Judge. We think a personal bond is also appropriate.
The court will adopt the recommendation of Van Buren Township Public Safety Department, impose a bond of $5,000 personal, so long as Mr. Sanderford have no contact with the complaining victim in this case, that being Adriana Sanford, and not return to 2049 Parkwood, and that is in Van Buren Township. Mr. Sanderford, your next appearance in this matter will be your pretrial, which will be scheduled for July the 27th, 2021 at 8:50 a.m. and that will be with Judge Oakley by Zoom.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else in this matter, Mr. Bitar?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Van Buren Township, do you need anything else from the court?
All set, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Everyone take care. If there's another one, I'll see you. If not, I'll see you next time. Have a good day. You too, Mary Ann.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Bye.
Oh, I saw the attorney come and go. Oh, there he is. Good morning, Mr. Burke.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are
Thank
you,
you for your
sir?
patience this morning.
No worries. Your client indicated that you might not have received notice as he had not received notice.
Yes, I see the hearing date is on top of the pre-sentence investigation, but we didn't have it in the calendar because we didn't receive a normal notice, but we're here nonetheless.
Okay.
No
yeah.
worries, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams has been here. He was here on time. He has been subjected to my musings with my secretary as we were waiting for attorneys to show up. But this is 210205 OD, City of Romulus versus Eric Michael Williams.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Appearances,
T-Jack
please.
Burke appearing on behalf of Mr. Eric Williams, and we consent to today's appearance via Zoom. We have received a copy of the PSI report, and I have had a chance to go over it with my client, and we have no additions, deletions, or corrections, Your Honor. I would just like to say on Mr. Williams' behalf that he has worked at Ford Motor Company since 2012, and he's a valuable employee over there. We were pleased with the recommendations from the probation department, and we would hope that you would adopt the same.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. There are just a couple of things. The court did have the opportunity to review the report from probation along with the police report from Romulus Police Department and to review the needs assessment in this matter. Only concern, well, I guess there's a couple of concerns of the court. Regarding the date of this incident, that Mr. Williams was operating a vehicle with a BAC of 0.109 on a very dangerous and busy stretch of highway. And luckily, he seems to have gotten the worst of the accident. And there were no injuries, it doesn't sound like, to the semi driver or to the passenger. Saying all that to say that I think that Mr. Williams was very lucky. The recommendation from Agent Stephen Hicks indicates that this is Mr. Williams' first drinking and driving offense, that he accepts responsibility for his actions on that night and claims abstinence since April of 2021, describes himself as a casual drinker, indicating that this offense was an isolated incident, but denies that there is a problem or any need for treatment. Based on the interview and Mr. Williams' response to the needs assessment, Mr. Hicks indicates that he is not recommending probation. The court will adopt the recommendation from Mr. Hicks and will assess a $300 fine, $300 in costs. There's crime victims of $75, mandatory state costs of $50, fund fee of $20, restitution request from the city of Romulus of $200, which the court will also award. That is a total of $945. Mr. Burke, I'll indicate to you that the probation department did send a letter to the driver of the semi truck asking that they submit any documentation as to any monetary losses or damages to the court by June the 28th, 2021. And the court did not receive anything back from that driver, saying that only to say, I'm not sure if restitution will be requested from that driver in some different format and a different forum. But for the purposes of today's sentencing, that's $945. Will your client be able to pay that within the next 30 days?
Mr. Williams,
Yes, I will.
that work for you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll make an indication to file that that will be paid within 30 days. Mr. Williams, you can either mail it to the court, go online and pay it with the case number, or you can bring it to the building.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Burke?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
We're all set. Thank you for jumping on. Mr. Williams, thank you for reaching out to your attorney this morning.
Yes, of course. Thank you for your patience.
Have a good day and good luck to you, Mr. Williams.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. So Mary Ann, last night,
Yeah.
as we're walking down the street looking at these cars, I should have kept going. There is a new pharmacy opening in town, which I didn't realize. I realized, but I wasn't thinking about the fact that we were so close to it, and I should have just walked the probably half a block it would have taken me to get to it. They were having their ribbon cutting this morning.
Oh, where is it located?
Don't ask for the address. On Main Street, it is where the Belleville Area Chamber is.
Oh, yeah.
They are splitting their space with Milton Pharmacy is the name of the place.
Huh. Oh, they're going to give CVS a run then, huh?
The CVS is just north of them on Main Street.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what a small pharmacy looks like. So maybe next time there's a so next Monday farmers market, we'll meander down there, just take a look. I'm just curious. I'm sure that the chamber will post video of the ribbon cutting, but.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm going to write that down on my calendar for next Monday. I think my mom, it would be nice for her to do that. What is it like right after, what time does it start?
I think it's 4 to 7:30.
Okay. There, got it.
I like that, even though they call it, it is 4 to 7:30, even though they call it farmer's market, it's not just produce there, it's other things. And I find that you pick up some of the cutest little crafts or goods, I guess I'll say, at places like that.
I wonder if they have any of the, well, that's Romulus. I was thinking of Romulus, where the florist is, you know how they have their crafts in their parking lot. I wonder if any of the same crafts people go to Belleville. They probably do.
I don't know. I know that Romulus all summer long is doing a Friday event where they have some vendors last week they had a juggler there. The week before that, they had I want to say magician. The juggler was juggling bowling balls and a kitchen sink.
What? Wait, a kitchen sink?
A kitchen sink, like a big old white kitchen sink. And they were doing it right in front of the freight house. And somebody said to me, oh, he's been juggling. He did a sink. And I couldn't believe it. I'm thinking maybe a small sink, like a hand sink. No. I looked over, as soon as they said it, I look over.
What is he juggling the sink with?
Just the sink.
Oh my, what?
But with the bowling balls, with the bowling balls, he was doing the 3 bowling balls at the same time. And I guess he had some smaller things that he was teaching the kids that were there how to juggle. I was impressed.
Juggling impresses me anyway. I can't even throw 2 balls in the air, let alone juggle. I don't know. Gotta master that. That's pretty cool. Is that in the parking lot? Is that in the parking lot of the forest?
They do that. It's they do it at the historical park. So think between the post office and the Bibbins.
Yeah.
On that stretch where they have the historical house and the old schoolhouse and the old caboose.
Yeah.
Every Friday night they do music, and what was it? Movie. So it's something different every Friday.
Is it a nice turnout whenever you've gone?
Whenever we've gone, there's been a nice turnout, but I like that kind of, way to get out and about again and still be out in the open air.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always look out for things that are going on not too far from home. And you figure from, getting to Romulus or wherever else.
Oh, yeah.
I know that Huron's Historical Society or a commission, whatever they call it, they have a thing downtown sometimes, and I haven't seen a posting for it, but I'm hoping that they start up doing things again soon.
Have you been to it's not new any longer, fairly new docks in New Boston? That
I have not been. I've driven by there and we keep meeting to go, and every time they post something, I think to myself, oh, that looks wonderful.
Yeah, I need to get my mom there too, because it would be nice to run into one of the Rickards for her.
It would be nice. It's you can't miss it. And when they were doing the renovations, I thought to myself, nice that you're using an existing building. Just a beacon, I think of it, Get your little ice cream and stroll down the street, walk over the, over the water, over the new bridge and come back.
Are there any seats like back in there? There probably are chairs or something by the river where we could sit. I'm sure they have something out there.
You know what? When I drive over the bridge, I'm not paying attention. I don't know that I've ever noticed any benches or anything, but hey, lean over the rail, lean against the rail, not over the rail. Lean against the rail, eat your ice cream, drink your soda, whatever. Hey, that'd be a nice date night.
See?
Get your ice cream, take a stroll.
There you go. Hey, is the river there? I'm not familiar with that area a whole lot, but is that river right there where the bridge is? Can you take a canoe or a kayak down in that area? Is it not that kind of river?
Have you met me? What about me suggesting I'm in a canoe?
No, it's just no, not you. Looking at the water, does it flow like where you could drop a kayak in it?
Can you put a canoe into the Huron River? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I guess in that area, like there in Boston.
You're asking the wrong person, but I'm guessing if you pull up to the Metro Park booth, I'm sure somebody will be happy to tell you. Or whoever might be listening to our little conversation, you might get something in the mail saying, do not put a boat in, or yes, you can put a boat in up to this size.
My nephew and his wife recently on a Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember, they always go to, in Ann Arbor, they always do the river in Ann Arbor, Argo Park, and then they go to Gallup Park where they end up. And they usually have a car at the beginning or at the end for obvious reasons. Well, they got to the end at Gallup Park and they locked their keys into the Argo Park car. So they couldn't get back to their car. We called, "Hey, Aunt Mare, are you home?" And it was a 4th of July weekend. It was like, oh my goodness.
Oh, boy. Oh, you know, Judge Green might have the answer to that question.
Oh, because she's familiar with that area. Yeah.
Or you can call the Metro Park, or maybe go on their website. Are you thinking about putting a canoe in?
Not for me, maybe for Alex and Moogie. I thought maybe it might be a nice gift to get them kayaks or something. They could just take it in there.
I don't remember. We might have just been out for a drive. Can't imagine we had anything particular in mind. There is a park there named Kenneth Berlin Park, and the Berlins are friends. And so we went by the park and we took pictures in front of the sign, and I sent it to the family because they did some work on it a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, maybe.
Aww.
And it's just a cute little park tucked into a neighborhood. And we were just, I don't know, it
meant something because you know them.
Just thinking about what you said earlier about small towns, and I don't think of this area as being particularly small town. I think of it as being close knit. And the thought that there's this Berlin Park and this wonderful Berlin family.
Is that in New Boston?
It is.
Yeah.
It's not too far from Docks, which is what got me thinking about it, that we're talking about driving down there. And when you come off of the Huron River Drive curve, you keep going around from Docks, you go down, and the park is like 1 or 2 more bends beyond Docks and down a little side street or something. Like I said, I don't remember what we were doing down that way, but sometimes we just go
for a drive.
Go for a drive, get some fresh air, enjoy the scenery, look at what's new and what's going on in the area. Well, ma'am.
Yeah, I know.
10:58. It's 10:58. You know, my rule is about 15 minutes for somebody to log on, and we're getting in the point where we are rapidly approaching that 15 minutes for the last scheduled one. So I will start at 201642 SD, State of Michigan versus Nicholas Anthony Shotwell. This matter was scheduled for a show cause at 9:30 today. It's now 10:59 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Bench warrant shall issue. 5,010%. This is 210200 SD, City of Romulus versus Brian Brandon Thomas McKinney.
So,
this matter was.
I'm sorry. I thought I was muted.
This matter was also scheduled for show cause at 9:30 a.m. This is based on the defendant's failure to return paperwork to the probation department. Show cause was scheduled at 9:30 a.m. It's now 11 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, bench warrant shall issue. 5,010%. This is 210204 OD, City of Romulus versus Rebecca Lynn Weekham. This matter was scheduled for show cause at 9:30 a.m. It's now 11:01 a.m. by the court's clock. Show cause based on defendant's failure to return paperwork to probation as requested. Based on the defendant's failure to appear, there being no unidentified persons in the court's virtual waiting room, bench warrant shall issue. 5,000. 10%. This is 210178OT, City of Romulus versus Marcus David Williams. This matter was scheduled for show cause at 9:30 a.m. It's now 11:02 a.m. by the court's clock. There being no one in the court's virtual waiting room, defendant having failed to appear, show cause based on the defendant's failure to submit completed paperwork to the probation department. Bench warrant shall issue. 5,000, 10%. Ooh. This is 200353SM. State of Michigan versus Annette Elise Ely. This matter was scheduled for sentencing today at 10:45 a.m. It's now 11:03 a.m. by the court's clock. There are no persons in the court's virtual waiting room. Defendant having failed to appear. KPS shall issue. Bench warrant shall issue. 5,000, 10%. That is it, Marianne. That was the last one for us. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's 11:03. Have you received anything else from Andy?
I have not. Well, no, wait, I don't know.
Okay.
Let me check. I know. Okay, I got it. Slow it down here. No, there is nothing else. So I guess.
Well,
we're-
arraignment cutoff was 11 o'clock. It's 11:03. If she comes with anything, we'll come back out. But for right now, I'll consider our docket concluded for the morning. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thanks. Yep, you're welcome.